Hey guys, it's Hannah. So, you may or may not have just seen my video, Interview a Homophobe. It was really good. And just got me to thinking, because obviously, they're taking gay marriage to court, and I mentioned it in the video, and I wanted to do this topic for a while, and what's a better time than when they're addressing it in Supreme Court, right? Song, we all know this if we watch this channel, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Same Love by Macklemore. I don't own any of the whatever the hell you have to say for your video not to get flagged. Okay, cakes? So, why it's important to us? Well, I've gotten this question a lot, like, well, why does it even matter? I mean, you have, like, civil unions and everything, and that's pretty much, you're starting to get some of the same rights, and yes, we are getting a lot of the rights. There's still some that don't come along with these civil unions, but what's a little more important than the equal rights, some of you may have heard of, I can't remember which case it was. We did them in fours it was a lesson about precedents and everything. There was like Plessy versus Ferguson. I think that's the one. So there were two separate train cars, Plessy versus Ferguson. Plessy, I believe it was Plessy. He was this 1/8 black man, and they had two different cars, one for white people and one for black people. Now they had to be equal. They had to have same seats, same service, same size, same quality. But they were separate. And so, they did not end up winning that case because he got arrested for going onto the white train. And so then in the next case was Brown versus Board of Education. And, they went to the Board of Education because they were forced to go to a black school. And this was a lot of years later from the train case, by the way. So they went to the court because he had to cross a train track, and it was kind of dangerous for him to have to get to that school because it was farther than the white school. And the court finally decided that separate but equal is unconstitutional. And I feel like this is the same because instead of separate but equal, it's different but equal, It's like, oh, well, they have civil unions and they can still adopt and, they could fix all the problems, but it's still different. And I think the problem with that is that kind of triggers hate, because people will recognize that it's different, and if you grow up saying, oh, well, they can't get married because, they're both girls, but they can get married because they're a girl and a guy, it just sets it into your mind that gay people are different. And they're really not. They're not whatsoever. It's the same love throughout every relationship. Love will forever be love. And there are different extremes of love, different types of love, family love, God love, partner love, whatever. But it all feels the same. And we should have our children recognize that. We should have the law recognize that. We should have everyone recognize that love is the same. And another thing that goes along with that is just like, a lot of people don't think that it's love. They think that it's lust, which, straight couples come with a lot of lust too, but they still have love. And that's exactly how it is, It's an equal percentage of sex and love, and it's not like we're just doing it because, the guys want the D and the girls want the V. It's not, it's a lot more complex than that, It's way more complex. And so then there's that thing of like, oh, well, I just don't want them shoving it down our throats. And the only reason why gay people are so loud about it is because there's something that needs to be changed. And we're not just going to be suppressed and wait for them to wake up and the next generation finally legalizes it. we're going to say something now. And maybe if you would change it, we wouldn't have to be having signs in front of Chick-fil-A because we feel the need to be equal. And along with shoving it down their throats, you're not invited to our wedding, so calm down, please. Now, onto how it affects straight people. It doesn't. Honestly, as I said, we're not forcing you to go to our wedding. We're probably not going to get married in your church that hates us. You know, you can calm down. And it won't affect your marriage whatsoever. It won't make yours any less amazing, any less meaningful. In fact, making gay marriage legal might make marriages more meaningful. You know why? Because, okay, if there are a straight couple, they can get married under any circumstance, really, and it could be really bad. And there's tons of divorce. Tons. And, like, that kind of makes marriage seem meaningless, right? And so, along with all that, there's tons of different... So, another argument that people have for gay marriage against it is about adopting children. First of all, we can already adopt children. It's really hard, and we would like to change that, hence all of this shenanigans. But people say a man and a woman should raise a child. Now, there are a lot of statistics that say that there's nothing different, but I think that there is something different with all these type of marriages because, you know, like, okay, so if it's a mom and a dad, then it's more of a traditional household, and it could be easier to grow up in because, like, a lot of people with, like, two parents of the same sex get made fun of a lot or whatever. And so, yes, there's a slight difference with growing up. But every household, I've noticed, every single one has some issue. Whether it's a money issue, a drug or alcohol issue, divorce issues, abuse issues. Like, let's say, okay, if there's a mom, and she's married to this guy, and they didn't divorce, he died, okay? So she's raising their child on her own. And she realizes she's a lesbian, okay? She can't get married to someone who would be a great mother to her next child, or to her first child, I mean. But now, let's say she continues to be straight, and she falls in love with this guy, and he is really abusive and really bad for the child. They can totally get married. That's totally fine. If children are allowed to grow up in single-parent or abusive households, then I don't think same-sex marriages are the most severe problems. I mean, if you needed both a mom and a dad, then divorce would be illegal. And last but not least, as I said, love is all the same, but mostly, parent love is always the same towards their children. So, isn't it better to grow up in a really loving environment than an abusive one? No matter the gender of either of your parents? So, I think that was everything I had to say, because that's all I wrote down, and so I don't think that I can say any more, because I thought long and hard about all of those little bullet points. So, yeah. So this is kind of like a number 2 to my other video today, because, just because of what's happening in the courts, and it kind of went along with my video today. And also, it's been a topic I've been wanting to address for a while, so what better time than today, right? Yay! Alright, I love you all. Have a nice day. Have a really nice day. Yeah.